Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na chashu shrushave vacham na cha mam yobhya suyati. One of the problems that we all have is, this is the typical character of every Indian. You know, one person asked me, Swamiji, how do you define Indians? This he asked me in US. A US citizen, he asked. I said, Indian is one for whom every time is a tea time. An Indian is one who is expert in somebody else's job, not his own job. An Indian is one who has got all the wisdom for others. An Indian is one who is ready to take decision on behalf of others. An Indian is one who is a born doctor. Anybody has any problem, any Indian will tell anything and anything can happen. And the most important thing, that every Indian is a born philosopher. Therefore Bhagavad said, Arjun, you have heard Gita from me. Now don't start giving lectures. See, idam te na tapaskaya na cha ashru shushave vacham na cha mam yobhya suyati. Do not talk Bhagavad Gita to those who do not want to listen. See, this is one of the biggest problems. You know, we elderly people have nothing to do except to teach the youngsters. And youngsters are those who don't want to listen. That is the sign of the young person. And there is a constant struggle. Constant struggle. So here is the first instruction for those who get hysteric about the knowledge. Idam na vacham. This should not be told. This should not be discussed. This should not be imposed on anyone who is atapaska. Atapaska means he who has not lived a life of self-discipline and sacrifice. Second thing, na abhaktaya. He who doesn't have devotion for this knowledge. Third, nacha ashru shushave. The one who doesn't want to listen, don't tell. There's no need. See? Normally, what happens, I don't know how Bhagavan Sri Krishna knew it. It happened in Warsaw. I finished my first day introduction to the second chapter and came down from the dais. It was in open ground. And when I came down, one Sindhi lady came. She said, Swamiji, you are really great. Today's lecture was specially tailored for my daughter-in-law. So why don't you come and tell this thing to my daughter-in-law? I said, my mother-in-law, you please tell me that after having heard this lecture, has anything happened to you? No. Did I go and invite you to come? No. So when you have come on your own and yet you don't want to change, and you want your daughter-in-law who doesn't want to come, she should change. See? So those who don't want to listen, don't want to listen. Over. No imposition. And the fourth thing, nacha mam yaha abhyasuyati. And those who have got a negative approach to life. Anything what is said in tradition is wrong. Anything what is said by the elders is bad. Anything what we see on the TV is the last authority. In this manner, those who are carried away by the whims and fancy of today's serials, to them don't tell this. Then Ya imam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidhasyati bhakti mayi param krutva mameva eshyati asamshayaha. Now, the don'ts are given. Now the do's are told. He who studies this Bhagavad Gita and he who is elaborating and expounding this for the sake of my devotees, he is my real devotee. See, the sign of the devotee. No makeup is mentioned. This point I told you a number of times. The external makeup of a devotee. Different kinds of marks on the head. Then different kinds of malas in the neck. Then different kinds of colors of the clothes. And normal people put on the slippers or shoes. Babaji will put on the wooden khadao. Why Babaji? One person asked me this question. Swamiji, why do you put on wooden khadao? I said, this is the only thing which people don't steal away. On the contrary, they put 2 rupees and do namaskar. Bidi ka kaam ho jata hai. So these are not the sign of a devotee. The real devotee of mine is the one who studies himself and he is making it available to the others. Now, from whom do we want to listen? The one who is demonstrating the knowledge in his life. See? Now what is the problem that our children don't listen to us? Because they know, mom, dad, we know. There was a young boy who stayed with me for almost a month. Our NRI. So after about 25 days, one day I asked him, hey, how is your mom and dad? Swamiji, don't bring them in. They are kids. Non-stop fighting in the house. See? And then we have complained, Swamiji, these days children don't listen. They have heard so much of your fighting that there is nothing more that they can learn. See? Therefore, when the knowledge is digested, it is expressed in your life. When the knowledge is undigested and it is vomited without digestion, it stings. See? Therefore, ya imam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidhasyati bhakti mayi param krutva. He has really been my great devotee. He has practiced devotion. Instead of taking in the mala in the hand and disturbing the Lord all the time, Krishna, 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 Krishna. So, mam eva eshati asamshayaha. He shall certainly come back to me. Now, nacha tasman manusheshu kaschinme prekruttamaha bhavita nacha me tasmat anyaha priyataro bhuvi. Other than such a person, none is dear to me in the whole world. See? If we study, then practice, then demonstrate, and let our life reflect the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as a scientific demonstration of this wisdom. In Narad Bhakti Sutra, there is one sutra. The great masters, they are defined in different ways. One of the sutra tells, Sat Shastri Kurvanti Shastrani. The lives of the great masters authenticate the declarations of the scriptures. See how beautiful it is. Our scriptures tell, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmaneva atmana tushtaha stita prajnestadocchate. He who has given up all the worldly desires, he who is all content with himself, he alone has steady wisdom. Now this is demonstrated and then only it can be learned by others. Therefore, those who are doing this better than them, there is none of my devotee in this world. Now, further. Adhyeshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavayoho jnana yajnena tenaham ishtasyamiti me matihi. Now the next step. So first of all, do not talk this thing to those who don't want to listen. Second thing, if we study sincerely, understand, practice, demonstrate in our life, and thus our life becomes an expression of Bhagavad Gita. We become the walking Bhagavad Gita, not talking Bhagavad Gita. See? Otherwise, all the time quoting Bhagavad Gita, dhanadar. Do you know Bhagavan said, Sarva Dharman Parityaja? As if you are fighting or what? Once in one club, Lions Club somewhere, one person introduced me. And when he introduced me, I was having colic in my stomach. Liver was getting non-functional. Because he started telling, he never met me earlier. And I never met him. We have learned from Swamiji. I was shocked. When did he learn from me? We have learned from Swamiji that Mane eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Bhagavad Gita tells us such a great knowledge. So with great difficulty, I held myself alive. And after everything was over, we were having a cup of tea. After the program was over, then I asked him. I said, Maharajji, Swamiji, don't call me Maharajji. I said, okay, Super Maharajji. Well, why are you telling me like that? I said, which is your edition of Bhagavad Gita where this slok is there? Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha. It is not in Bhagavad Gita. I said, objection. I said, no. Oh, I thought every slok is only in Bhagavad Gita. Ram, Ram, Ram. See? Therefore, here Bhagavan is telling, don't use Bhagavad Gita to quote in your lecture so you can impress upon. This is not sher shairi. When we cannot say what we have to say, we use the words uttered by somebody. And then we get a clapping for what? You remembered it. Narayana. Therefore, after having demonstrated this in your life, then next one. Those who are not able to do this, no, never mind. Please remember, everybody cannot be a teacher. This ability to communicate is the divine gift. You cannot learn it anywhere. But we imagine that let me start firing. And when there is nobody, maid servant is there. Baitho beta, main tumko Bhagavad Gita sunati. Ram, Ram, Ram. And then they complain, Swamiji, no servant stays in my house. So, Adhyeshyate cha imam dharmam samvadamavayoho jnana yajnena tenaham ishtasyamiti me matihi. So the teacher says that if you study yourself, about this I'll tell you. One of my very close, sweetest friend from Bangalore, a young boy in his mid-30s, he has gone through such terrible rough tides in his life. And I never knew who is that boy. One day he phoned me, Swamiji, I want to meet you. I said, don't come home. You come here, Prempuri, and meet me. He said, okay, Swamiji, I'll take a flight and come. I said, what flight? Where are you? I am in Bangalore. I said, then come by train. He said, no, I have to come right away. Okay, came. And then he said, Swamiji, I have gone through terrible times, but your talks alone have sailed me through the turmoils. So I just wanted to come and thank you. And then he came, attended for 6-7 days. And on the day of going, he said, Swamiji, give me something which will hold me in this life. I said, okay, listen. Take Bhagavad Gita. Every day, read one chapter, first day, first chapter, second chapter, only chanting. Then start from verse number 1, read the original verse in Sanskrit, and whatever commentary, follow only one commentary. I told him to follow Ram Sukdaji's commentary on Bhagavad Gita, which is in Hindi. I said, you follow one commentary, don't go on comparative study of commentaries and evaluating the Mahatmas, don't do that. And thereafter, you close whatever you are read and put it in your own language. You write in English or write in English. And start doing it every day. And he has started that. He says, Swamiji, what a joy it is. If on a particular day I cannot write, that day I miss my breakfast. It's a rule. Because in one of your talk we are told that you don't take food on that day when there is no satsang. I have heard it. So it is a must for me now. And what has happened? He has set himself into a perfect discipline. You know what is required in life is self-disciplined lifestyle. Our condition is kati patanga hu. No? Like this kati patang, is it a life? Are we furnitures? Anybody can lift and put us there. Gupta ji, chalo picture dekhte hain. Chalo. Hare Ram Ram. Therefore, those who are studying for their own benefit, this is called a jnana yajna. So in the fire of knowledge, offer all your wrong notions about yourself, about the world, about the God, about the sin, about merit, about your spiritual practice, about your devotion, about your karma. We are all carrying loads and loads of wrong notions about everything. So offer that in this fire of knowledge. This is called as the jnana yajna. So, tenaham ishtasyam. By this alone, I am really being propitiated. How? Because the Lord is residing in the hearts of everybody. And if our heart is all the time carrying heaps and heaps of dumb, foolish thoughts, how he must be getting disgusted. At least one good thought should come. Isn't it? Like if you take food, first course sandwich, second course sandwich, third course sandwich. Mommy, there isn't anything else in the house? Yes, there is one, fourth sandwich. Hare Ram Ram. Can't we have something else in life? Only confusion, frustration, dejection, depression, arrogance, greed, lust, passion. Isn't there something higher? So that Lord says, if there is but one divine thought, I will feel good. Come on. That is one thought has come. That is called as real propitiating the Lord in life. Not outside. Those who have not discovered the divinity within themselves, they cannot suspect divinity in the whole creation. That is the real jnana yajna. And after that, next, Shraddhavan anasuyascha shrunuyadapi yo naraha sopi muktaha shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. I cannot give the lecture. I cannot study. I don't know Sanskrit. Now this is another funny notion. This notion I am going to tell you. Change is important. While you are coming, in our Prempuri lift, here, if you go sometime, you see they are stuck inside stickers. Om Bhurbu Swaha Tassavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Every Gujarati knows how to read Sanskrit. But the Sanskrit mantra is written in Gujarati, Sanskrit mantra is written in Tamil, Sanskrit mantra is written in Punjabi. Why that obsession? See? Read Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit, write it down. You can learn. See, that is important. I will tell you about this one simple thing. There was a school where I was in charge, And I made compulsory to all the teachers. Saturday, the classes will be conducted by the higher classes for the lower students. And I will be conducting Gita class for them. And they have to write notes. And one teacher, a Tamilian, Ganga is her name, I still remember. So she said, I can't write. I am a Tamilian. I said, who cares? You have to write, you have to write. I am not giving you option. She started crying. I said, here, tears don't touch me. I am like Padma Patra Bhivambasa. You can't do anything to me. Right means right. These are orders. And I said, cry, but write. And she started. And she has to write the notes, what she has learned, Sanskrit, shlok in Sanskrit, and slowly. After 6 months, then I called her again. Oh, my God, Swami, yes, God, now what is going to happen? I showed her copy to her. I said, I want you to tell the whole class. See your own writing. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kuru Kshetre. First day. And now, after 6 months, you are in the 3rd chapter of Gita. And see your own handwriting. Arjuna Uvacha Atakena Prayuktoyam. I said, compare your own handwriting and tell me, Amma, sincerely, are you proud of your being or you are still angry with me? Then, as any lady should do, she broke. That time also she broke, this time also she broke. But it was broken. And it was a surrender. He says, Swamiji, had it not been you, I would never have learned in my whole life, because right from childhood, I was having the revolt in my mind. Why should I study Sanskrit? It is not superior to Tamil. See, this is how we get caught up in life. So, any one of you want to start this way. Take your nice paper, pencil, diary, read, write one verse, understand. After your understanding, write in your own language and continue slowly, steadily, through and through. Complete the 700 verses. But for the sake of the God and the nation, don't publish it. Because when you will again read that, you will understand, my God, am I such a dumb? It is not a history, it is a reality. This is how slowly you will grow. And that is what is called a spiritual life. Normally what happens? Spirituality means when we are unfit for everything. And then at the time I am going to bed, Swamiji, I read Bhagavad Gita so that I can go to sleep. Bhagavad Gita is not a sleeping pill. When we are fresh and best in our wits, that is the time. Study creatively, with understanding. And then only it will start affecting our vitals and will change. So, jnana yadnena teha naham ishtasyamiti me mati. Suppose we are not able to even do that, never mind. Then, shrunuyadapi yo naraha. Go where satsang goes on. And listen to the Mahatmas with all sincerity. And try to imbibe what you have heard, what you have interacted, what you have assimilated. We have to practice that in life. See, every step by step the teacher is going. It is not that everybody has to become a lecturer. Not possible. It is not that everybody can write books and commentaries. Not possible. So whatever is our capacity, accordingly go ahead. So, Shraddhavan Anasuyascha. But we have to have these two qualities. Shraddha, tremendous faith in the Bhagavad Gita, tremendous faith in the Lord, tremendous faith in the teacher from whom we are learning, and tremendous faith in ourselves that we can do this. Don't underestimate your own abilities. You can learn, even at this stage. But Swamiji, I am now 89. It is too early for the next life. It is not late. Start. Don't stop any moment. Now sahapi muktaha shubhan lokan prapniyat punya karmanam. Such a person also will be liberated from this relative world. You know how? When you get real taste and joy in the study of scriptures, you automatically withdraw from your worldly things. You know, in most of the houses, the problem is the elderly people get involved into the family matters beyond requirement. आज खाने के लिए क्या बना, मुझे खाओ. खाने के लिए क्या? Whole day goes only what is there for breakfast, what is there for the lunch, what sabji, shall I go and get the vegetable, and then I have to only cut vegetable because there is nothing to do. You can't cut the head of your wife because it is not there. So instead of that, engage yourself in something creative and see the joy of life. You will start discovering so many things, and then your whole life will have a totally different orientation. Unless we change the orientation of our life from the world to the Lord, from the dog to the God. Presently we are dog words. We have to become God words. Change the spelling. Now, after having told all this, Bhagavad Sri Krishna tells, Kachideta shrutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa Kachida jnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya, hey Arjun, whatever I have told you, my dear Partha, have you listened it with single-pointed mind? Hey, all the time I was thinking I am listening. But I don't think I have heard it properly. Then what to do? You are lucky. Arjuna was not. How you are lucky? You will get all the lectures in the MP3 format compiled together. You can listen afterwards. Arjuna had no facility of this type. Because he has told only once. So, Kachid eta shrutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa. You know, many of us have the complaint that we don't have time to do these things or anything in life. Do you know why? Because we repeat the same job 10 times. If you have the ability, then you do one job only once, not second time. You will never be short of time. For us, what happens? One thing we have to do, we repeat it 10 times, and 11th time, by mistake, it happens to be good. No. That ability to be perfect in the first go is called as the spiritual growth. Therefore, for that, what is the technique? Ekagra chetasa. We have to learn this art. When we are eating, we are eating. When we are talking, we are talking. When we are listening, we are listening. When we want to sleep, we are sleeping. When we are playing. This ability and freedom to apply ourselves in the given job without any problem of non-cooperation from the mind is called as really scientific lived lifestyle. But for us, we have to take the drugs and this thing and the pills, then only we can go to sleep. So to go to sleep, we require a pill. There was one grandmother. She went to her young grandson, a teenage college student, and he was snoring away. She went, "Go to bed, beta, please get up. All this, have you taken your sleeping pill?" He's sleeping. No, but I know that every day you take this, whether you have forgotten today or not. The before going to sleep, you require a pill. To come out of the sleep, we require a pill. the low will. Therefore, ekagra chetasa, let us have the total freedom. And kachid ajnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Another thing, ajnana sammoha. Ajnana and sammoha, these are the two technical terms. I will tell you the definition of these two terms, then it becomes easier. First is non-apprehension of the reality. When there is non-apprehension of the reality, we start the next step, and that is projection on what is perceived wrongly. So, first there is a perception, then it is not a clear perception, therefore followed by projection, and what we see is the projected, not what actually is, and therefore there is a misapprehension of the reality. So, non-apprehension of the reality is ajnana. Not knowing who am I, not knowing what the world is, not knowing what the God is, not knowing what is the meaning of karma, not knowing what is the meaning of sin or the merit, not knowing what is the position of the jiva bhava. This is nothing is known. Then we start projecting. And what is the projection? Projection is expression of our foolishness in a dignified manner is projection. And as a result, there is a misapprehension. And this is how we are all seeing the Lord Himself. But we don't see Him. We see the friends, the enemies, the nears and dears, the distant and the unknowns. Why? Because the perception is clouded by the superimpositions of friendship and enmity. Therefore, these are the two problems. One is ajnana, second is sammoha. So, hey Arjun, now has these two wrong things gone away for good or not? In reply to this, now Arjuna tells, Arjuna vacha, nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadat maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha karisheva chanam tava. This is the last verse uttered by Arjun in Bhagavad Gita. And the first verse that he uttered in Bhagavad Gita was the one when he says, Senayor ubhayor madhye ratam sthapayamechyuta. Hey Achyuta, hey Sri Krishna, kindly take my chariot between the two armies. In the second chapter, 21st verse. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratam sthapayamechyuta. And the last verse also, Arjuna addresses Bhagavan Krishna by the same name. Nashto moha smritir labdha tat prasadat maya achyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karisheva chanam tava. Now this is the last stroke. Be very attentive. Bhagavad Gita was told by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Arjuna. First pair. Second, it was told by Bhagavan Sri Krishna and heard by Sanjaya. He will tell subsequently by the divine vision. Second pair. The third pair, Sanjaya told to Dhritarashtra. And the fourth pair, I am telling you. Fourth pair. You know, in Ramcharitmanas, the whole thought is presented that why it is called as Manas? Because it is considered as Manas Sarovar. It has got 4 sides. And 4 sides are representing the 4 approaches to life. One is the approach of karma. Second is the approach of knowledge. Third is the approach of devotion. And fourth is the approach of surrender, Sharanagati. And there Tulsidas Ji Maharaj says, Those who are listening from me, they are sitting on this ghat, on this side, where the surrender is the way of life. Here also, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam, surrender vraja. Sharanam and surrender, they are the same words. So now see, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from Bhagwan Krishna, what happened to Arjuna is reported in Bhagavad Gita in the words of Arjuna himself. Because he heard something happened, is told. Then what happened to Sanjaya? When he heard the Bhagavad Gita from the mouth of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, by the grace of Bhagwan Vedavyasa, what happened to Sanjaya? That is also reported. Now the third thing. Dhritarashtra heard from Sanjaya. But what happened to Dhritarashtra? Nowhere it is mentioned anywhere in the whole Mahabharata. Why? Nothing happened. Now comes the fourth one. Now the fourth one is coming up. What is that? We have heard Swamiji from you. And what happened to us? Now, I will repeat the Arjuna's words with our understanding. Arjun said, Nashto mohaha smrutir labdha. We will say, Nashta smruti moha labdha. We have become more confused. We have become more disgusted. Friends, please remember, the whole problem of our life is identity crisis. Identity crisis is the moha, the delusion. At the moment this identity crisis is sorted out, all problems dissolve. See? And this is what Arjuna says. Now my delusion has gone. Why? What was the delusion? I was thinking myself to be the grandson to a grandfather. I was thinking myself to be a disciple to a guru. In a wrong place. Please remember this. Everything must have a proper reference to context. Okay? Many times, we come across people. The other day, where I went, and this happens in many times, but sometimes you break. Like I was telling you, I went to South Africa, Johannesburg. About 6 hours flight, 7 hours flight. And after I got down, 9 o'clock, I came out of the security and with my luggage. They were waiting for me to be put into the car. Straight away drove 2.5 hours. Because 11:30 they have already announced the inauguration of the camp. And straight away, again, na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, and everything, and then the lecture starts. And I was having such a high BP. Bladder pressure, But there is no thing that when somebody has, let at least when he is go to bathroom. See, it's common sense. Because we are so preoccupied with ourselves that we are not ready to understand the other person's life. And the result is misunderstanding all the time. Therefore, the real moha is about the identity. This is how many times second thing. For everything there is a time. You just can't go on talking and asking anything anywhere. There has to be a proper way. But we don't understand. See, I asked Swamiji about Brahman and he fired me. Thank God he did not beat. Fired. Therefore, this moha is the identity crisis. Arjuna says, now I have come out of it. that on the battlefield I am only the warrior and neither the grandson nor the disciple, neither the enemy nor the friend. This is my duty. I have to deliver it. The moment you start living with this attitude, you will have no problems in life. One principle. Nashto moha, then smritihi labdha. Oh Lord, now I have regained my wits and wisdom. I know now what for I am in this world. Is this the end of life? Any small event? You will see all those who become miserable and disgusted, they take one particular event as the end of their life. No, there are many opportunities. So don't have that wrong notion that this is the end of our life. What is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. Keep cool. And do your job with all sincerity. Nashto moha swatir labdha. And how this has happened? Tat prasadat maya achyuta. Today I received one phone call from one Gujarati lady. So she started, I want to meet. She was talking in a Gujarati Hindi. So, therefore it was sweet. Gujaratis are sweet. So it was a sweet Hindi. She started, Swamiji, mane apne milna hai. So, I said, milo. So, what I should do? I said, milo. No, phone when somebody says milna hai. No, but I am in Gujarat. I said, you pour yourself into the phone, I will milo you here and send you back. Then she said, there was other Gujarati girl, I said, you talk to her in Gujarati and make her feel at home. I am not able to understand what she is talking. So she spoke and then she said, you talk to Swamiji in Hindi, slowly it will be okay. So she started in Hindi. But I thought you are a Gujarati. I said, that is your problem, it is not my problem. Why you think wrong? And then she started quoting scriptures left and right. Such a divine voice and such clear understanding. And she said, Swamiji, I want only one thing from you. Please bless me that in this very life I am able to attain perfection. I want nothing else. I want to give up everything. Please bless me. Please आशीर्वाद करो. आशीर्वाद करो अभी तक समझ में नहीं आया करना माने क्या. Then I told, I said, Amma, what do you want to give away? Tell me. Do you want to give away your body? No, I don't want to die. Okay. Do you want to give away your husband? No, he is quite good. Do you want to give away your mother-in-law? No, she is no more there. Given up. Then what do you want to give up? Then I said, Mama, please listen. Spiritual understanding means recognizing that nothing ever belongs to us in this world. With that understanding, when you live, you are in this world and yet beyond the world. And that is what matters in life. Therefore, smriti labdha tat prasadat maya achyuta. What satsang does is to bring to our cognition that nothing ever belongs to us in this world. Nothing will ever remain the same. Everything is going to change. See, our Swami Akhandaji Maharaj Guru, his name was Pudiya Baba. And once or twice I was taken some places telling Swamiji's ashram. So you conduct some camp there. And when I went, it was such a disgusting place. I said, hey, I won't come here. He said, no, ye to Maharaj ji ka hai. I said, I am not going to come there to clean your gobar treatment. I will not do that. And in that place, all the dirty tricks of the villages were going on. Brewing of the illicit liquor and all kinds of things. Now tell me, such a Mahatma great. In this Prakriti, other than Vikruti, you can see nothing. Don't get caught up. In this world, even once, we are that immaculate, absolute, pure consciousness. Hold on to that. What happened to Rama's Ayodhya? What happened to Krishna's Dwarka? The same thing is going to happen to our Kandivali flat. Do you think there is anything greater than that? Therefore, Smriti Labdha Tat Prasadat Mayachyuta. Oh Lord, now I have come to recognize I am just a passenger in this world. Not have come on a permanent basis. But we imagine as if here we have come to live eternally as a body. And therefore, Sthitaha Asmi. Oh Lord, now I am fully available to your command. Sthitaha Asmi. I am fully available to your command. And Gata Sandehaha. Now I know. There is no doubt that you alone can make the best of my life. Therefore, O Lord, I shall do Karishe Vachanam Tava. Whatever you tell, that alone I shall do. See how important it is. Normally, when we go to the Mahatmas, we go for getting our things done through them. We don't go to listen to them. We make them listen. Mahatma, aisa karna hi chahiye. Are? And you know why? One person asked this question. Swamiji, I have seen your tragedy when you are taking food. These ammas go on pouring the things on your plate and you cannot say no. Even if you say no, therefore there are 22 vegetables or the different things. They put all the 22 and you are supposed to eat that. And other people, they have a choice. I don't like bangan. I don't like this. I'll take only dal and roti. And that is all. It is allowed for them. And for me, not allowed. He said, how do you survive? I said, this is the God's grace. That I am still alive. Our love is imposing ourselves on the Mahatmas. So that person told me, Swamiji, why these ladies do like this? I said, we are the only one who listen to them. Nobody listens to them. And therefore, this Mahatma is very good, why? He listens to me. So true. Here the teacher is very clearly told, Karishe Vachanam Tava. Because in the beginning he has said that Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam. O Lord, I am thy disciple. Instruct me and I shall follow you. And in and through the whole Bhagavad Gita, he has sorted out all the webs of doubt from his mind by proper inquiry, understanding, surrender and application of that knowledge in sorting out the software that he had. See, another very important point. All that was said in Bhagavad Gita, take the mala in the hand or Mayi eva mana adasva mayi buddhim niveshayam. Fix your mind on me and concentrate on me. If you cannot do this thing, do the karma. If you cannot do this thing, do this. All these things were not done by Arjuna. Then Brahma Arpanam Brahmavi Brahma no Brahmanautam. That was also not done by Arjuna. See? Then what is that? Be very attentive. The problem is in correct understanding. Through these discourses, 17 discourses delivered by the Lord, what has happened is the wrong notions were sorted out. And this is what makes all the difference in our spiritual life, which is most scientifically brought out in Bhagavad Gita. So the problem is nowhere outside. The problem is in our kidney. That is the place where all the problems are residing. And those problems are not created by the Lord. These are our own creations. We have to sort it out. And for that, tat vijnanatham gurumeva vigached samit panihi srotriyam brahmanishtam. And for that, we have to approach the teacher, we have to go to the satsang and listen, interact, assimilate, practice discover and disappear from this world. This is the way. Therefore, Stitosmi gatasandehaha karishe vachanam tava. This is what has happened to Arjuna. Now what happened to Sanjay Maharaj? Sanjay Uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadamimam ashrausham adbhutam romaharchanam vyasa prasada shrutavan etat guhyamaham param yogam yogeshwarat krishna sakshat kathayata swayam rajan samsrutya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayoho punyam rishyami cha mumurmuhu tacca sanspritya रूपमत्यद्भुतम हरेः विस्मयो मे महान राजन ऋष्यामि च पुनः पुनः. Now Sanjay is telling, hey Rajan, hey Dhritarashtra, we don't know whether he was listening or he was sleeping. Therefore he has to again and again said, oh king, oh please listen, you know what happened thereafter? Huh? See? Iti vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadam imam srausham. Thus I heard the dialogue between the great ones, mahatmanah, the great ones. Who are the great ones? Arjuna and Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Both are great. See, it is not only that the Guru is great, disciple is equally great, nay, superior than the Guru. Kathopanishad very clearly tells, Ascharyo vakta kushalosya labdha, Ascharyo jnata kusalanushishta. It is the wonder of wonder that a person talks about the reality. And more wonder is, it is the wonder of wonder that the disciple listens about the reality, not about the relative world. Therefore, both of them are great indeed. And to that great master and the great disciple, whatever their dialogue continued, I heard it was Roma Harshanam. It was full of joy and gave me different kinds of experience. And I heard this. Vyasa prasada shrutavan etat guhyamaham param. The supreme secret I heard by the grace of Bhagwan Vedavyas. One day in Ahmedabad or somewhere, after I finished my lecture, one person came, a softie. You know the softie? Software engineers are called as softies. One softie came, Hardy came, they come now and then. So he said, Swamiji, you people go on talking greatness about the Vedas, everything. Tell me, these, software revolution, the emails, and mobile phones, and the TV technology, was it there during the time of your Vedas? I said, no, this is the outdated thing for us. He got more angry, because he came with a view to fight. I said, can your hardware work without a software? Suppose you have purchased a computer without any software. Will it work? No. You require a software. I said, our scriptures talk about that hardware which does not require a software. And our scriptures talk about that software which does not require a hardware. See? All the things that were happening on the battlefield, not only the events, not only the picture, not only the words, but even all the thoughts, all the moods, all the experiences gained by each and every person on the battlefield were experienced by Sanjaya. It was not just a mechanical TV show that you go on seeing, whether Prerna has delivered the baby or not. I don't know still. I have not seen Prerna. Ho gayi kya? My worries are over now. So all this time worries. So, it was not that dull-witted scene. Vyasa prasada shrutavan etat guhyamam param. And Another important, Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Kathayata Swayam. This is not revealed to me by a prophet. It was Sakshat, directly from the horse's mouth. See, no in between. You know what happens when in between comes? Like, many people, you should tell them, you must have played that game, the Chinese something. So, about 30, 40 people or 10, 20 people sit and you give one message and just to go. By the time it comes to the first man, it's totally distorted. Because in between mirch masala is added. Here, this is not given by anyone else, but directly Lord Himself. Therefore, there is no possibility of corruption. And therefore, there is no possibility of forming a sect. Bhagavad Gita does not belong to a particular sect. Everybody claims. Why? Because it is by the Lord who belongs to everyone. Sakshat Yogeshwarat Krishnat Kathayata Swayam. He himself. And who was he? Yogeshwara. The one who is the Ishvara of all the yogas. And Rajan, hey Dhritarashtra, Sansprutya. Again and again remembering that dialogue. Now here very important thing. Today I received one Xerox copy from somewhere, a newspaper cutting, where it is said, and this I mentioned to you on the first day when I delivered the first lecture here. Bhagavan Sri Krishna lived for 125 years, and at the time when the war was fought, he was 89 years of age and Arjun was 86 years of age. See, all the problems in this world are created by the oldies. See all the politicians. They are not youngsters. All the old fellows. This is what we old people give as a legacy to our next generation. We have created this problem, now you solve. And in solving that problem, they think the best way is to create more problems and get out. So, at that old age, Bhagavan Sri Krishna told on the first day. But this Bhagavad Gita was related by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra on the 10th day. And therefore he says, Rajan Sansprutya. Oh Rajan, remembering those words of the Lord which were delivered by him to Arjuna before the war began, Sansprutya, again and again I am overpowered by the joy of that rare fortune that one can have. And I also remember that Rupam Attat Bhutam Harehe, that Vishwarupa that was showed by the Lord to Arjuna. When I see that again and again, I am horripulated. I feel so blessed. I can't contain the joy within me. Now this is the experience narrated by Sanjay. And after the experience is narrated by Sanjay, now this was the last attempt on the part of Sanjay to tell Dhritarashtra, at least now call off the war. And yet, when we refuse to see, even God cannot show us. See, it is not that in this world there is somewhere lacking in God's presence. No. It is we who refuse to see the divine presence. And how this refusal comes? The refusal comes when we don't listen to the teacher. We impose our way. And then we say, Swami is angry with me. It is not that. Therefore, there are two types of categories of people. One are the devotees, other are the disciples. Devotees are those for whom the Guru Maharaj changes. And the disciple is the one who changes himself according to the instruction of the Guru. Devotees are the load carried by the Guru. Disciples are the assets who alone can propagate this knowledge to the next generation. And for that, we have to change ourselves. So here, Sanjaya is ultimately concluding the whole Bhagavad Gita in this last verse. Now this last verse, like we have seen, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati, like we have seen, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, in the same manner. Now this is the verse which summarizes technically the total knowledge contained in all the scriptures put together in such a sweet, simple couplet. The teacher says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Srid Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvani Tirma Tirmama. Now, Yatra, wherever, I'll tell you in simple language first, then we go into the depth. Wherever there is Yogeshwara Krishna and Dhanurdhara Partha, wherever there is Yogeshwara Krishna and Dhanurdhara Partha together, together is important, together, then Tatra, there what will happen? Sri, wealth, Vijayaha, victory, Bhuti, prosperity, and Dhruva, Mati, clear understanding. These four things are bound to be there, where Yogeshwara Krishna and Dhanurdhara Partha are together. Now let us take one by one. All of us, without an exception, have two things common. One is the power of knowledge, and second is the power of action. These two things together constitute our life. The power of knowledge is represented by Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and the power of action is represented by Arjuna. And who is that Arjuna? Dhanurdharaha. He has wielded the bow and the arrow in his hand. Meaning, he is ready to utilize that power of action. Not only accumulating, no. Now when these two things come together, what are the possibilities that can happen? First possibility, either our knowledge is respected in action or it is disrespected in action. When our knowledge is not respected in action, slowly, the knowledge loses its own strength. Take an example. You decide knowledge. Decision is the knowledge. You decide that I will observe Ekadashi. And Ekadashi comes. And when the action has to be taken, then you are not able to hold on to the hunger. And then you start finding out the loopholes in Ekadashi, like the income tax practitioners. There are two Ekadashis, isn't it? So I will do tomorrow's Ekadashi. Today let me eat. See? And we eat. And afterwards, see, I have decided, you do it 10 times, you come to a conclusion. You are not capable of doing anything in life. See? Another example. You decide to get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. Knowledge. 4 o'clock. You get out of the sleep, but not out of the bed. And again you go to sleep for wool gathering. And then you get up at 10 o'clock. My God, today also I got up in the morning 4 o'clock, Swami, but I don't know what happened. And finally, I am not tailored for that. We start losing confidence. Be very attentive. Please remember, when knowledge is not respected by us, others will never respect our words. Words, when they are carrying in their womb the meaning of the words, they become powerful to hit the hearts of the listener. See? One day one person came from the lecture and he had a big bump on his head. Hey, what happened? पता नहीं यार यहाँ के लोग टमाटर मारे. When they hit you tomato, are you so delicate that you got a bump on your head? No, the tomato was packed in a tin. So if it was only an empty tin, it will not make that bad impact. It was filled with the meaning, tomato. In the same manner, when our words are not practiced by us in our life, those words are only noise. Words without meaning is noise. And therefore, aham brahmasmi, hey, gadbad mat karo. What is this gadbad? Bhagwan ka naam le rahe. What is the meaning of aham? I don't know. Brahma, I don't know. Asmi, I don't know. That means you are creating only a noise. See? Therefore, the basic requirement of life is, please respect your knowledge in your own life by practicing that knowledge. The result will be, you will have self-confidence, Atma-Vishwas. And without Atma-Vishwas, you can achieve nothing in life. See? Extremely necessary. See what happened once, one lady came with me to Girinar. Those who are gone in Gujarat. It is about, 10,000 steps to reach the top where Bhagwan Dattatraya's Padukas are there. Very holy place. It is such a difficult way that you have to climb all the way. And there was one Punjabi lady, a round figure, and she said, Swamiji, I want to go up there. I said, Amma, there is a scale here. If you see, they have got a scale. And first 40 kg, normal rate. After that, for every 5 kg, 100 rupees more. I said, then it will become 5,000 rupees for you, Amma. The rates are written there. No, I will come with you. I said, on one condition. What is that? You are not hold my finger. Yes, Gatvana Nivartante, I don't want that. Second thing, I will not walk with your speed. Okay, sir. Will you be able to come? Yes, only I will able to come. And she started. She came all the way and came down. Then I said, hey Mama, what is the secret? She said, Swamiji, I knew that you will take me. See, she had no doubt. Knowledge without doubt alone can manifest success through action in life. This is what is meant over here. Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhuti Dhruvaniti. What is happening in our life is, we don't have even 1% belief in what we think. We have all the doubt. Like, when somebody comes and asks me something, my first instruction is, don't ask a single question. And everything happens. One day, one person, Swamiji, who told the things went all right. You tell me why you are so particular not talking anything after you say something. I said, okay, listen, scientifically. When any sankalpa is made, and if there is any speed breaker in between, in the form of any doubt, that sankalpa becomes weakened. And this happens in everybody's life. We ourselves decide, I will go there in the morning jogging. But I don't know whether I will get up or not. Prathama grase makshika pataha. Why doubt? Therefore, yatra yogeshwara Krishna, the knowledge must be supported by action. Slowly, you will develop that faculty that your sankalpa, your thought will not abort. They will stand. Now the second aspect. If the action is not the demonstration of knowledge and wisdom, but if the action is the manifestation of the personal greed, ego and vengeance, then what happened to Arjuna in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita will happen to us. What happened to him? Ghandivam sramsate hastat tvakchaiva paridayhate. Now the bow is slipping away from my hand and I am getting confused. I don't know what I should do. All the people who suffer from depression, they have that Arjuna complex. Because I wanted to do this thing, never supported by wisdom and understanding. Therefore, friends, these are the two wheels on which the vehicle of life moves on. Just imagine a cart with two wheels. One wheel is of the size of a scooter wheel, other like that of a tractor. You push it, it will move, keeping the scooter wheel as a pivot and the tractor wheel as a circumference, there and there, there and there. Both are required to be developed in a perfect balance, where knowledge and action are perfected in balance. Their success in life outside and peace within is bound to be. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.